All right, buddy, go ahead and tell the people your name for those that haven't seen part 1 and 2 already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my name is Demel Hanna. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
That's right.
We done did part one and two. Y'all been asking about part three, so uh, you know, I hope we can deliver. It's been great. I appreciate all the comments. I really do. People
Yeah.
just taking out their time to watch the video because I know everybody is just so busy nowadays. Everybody is just so busy, so it means a lot to me and to you. I know. That people would take out their time, and give us some of their time. So I
Yeah, for
appreciate
sure,
that.
man. It's amazing, man. It's an amazing thing. Hey, did you even know like when I got home from prison, I knew about YouTube and stuff. I watched YouTube for a while. But when you got out, I know you might have watched YouTube. When did you realize that they had comments and stuff like that?
I did shit. I'm not sure. I think when I first got out, I was just playing on the internet and I was watching YouTube. I was watching a lot of the because when I was in, it was a bloody war that took place, with some of the youth throughout Chicago in regards to the music,
Yeah.
and I was just when I got out, I was just surfing through YouTube and I was seeing some crazy stuff, man. I was seeing guys like literally walk up on guys and shoot at them. It was crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I didn't know like this was a way that you really can communicate with the world. So I didn't know how powerful this tool was, this phone and all these other gadgets. Like people used to ask me like, "Man, Joe, you scared to get out, man? Ain't it gonna be a lot of stuff you gotta like triumph or try to learn?" And I'm like, as far as technology, man, hopefully I'll just get it, but that's my least concern. But I didn't know this stuff was as big as it was. I didn't even know there was comments and it with the videos that we was doing. My wife told me
Yeah.
like, "Man, you got comments." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Where are they?" She like, "Just scroll all the way down
Ah,
the comment
yeah.
section." I didn't even know. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
All right, cool. I guess I'll check them out or whatever.
Yeah,
And
you
then I
got to be
started checking them out.
thick-skinned sometimes, man. Some people that come on the show, boy, them comments destroy them. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they come at me the next day, like, you got to take that down, man. You got to take that video down, man.
yeah, because they like I got a lot of flack for Illinois.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? And it's Illinois. It's silent. And I just sometimes I slip and I say Illinois. I got a lot of flack for that. Um, I think a few individuals been thinking a lot of these stories are fictitious. You know what I mean? Because maybe
Yeah.
a lot of people they look at me and they be like, "Dude, ain't do no 18 years. He look too polished." You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But
It preserves you, though.
yeah, and you go to share some of the pictures with them, so they'll see like I did, man. I just was able to take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even even throughout my imprisonment, certain things happen around me that could have landed me in some real bad situations, but it's a blessing. Sometimes you can go to segregation and you may duck going to TAMS, which was a supermax institution. It was crazy, man.
What was it
You know what
called?
I'm saying? It's called TAMS. That was their supermax. They built that in
Tams?
like 1996. Yeah, this was for all like the shot callers, guys that was like they call like real good jailhouse lawyers. You know what I mean? They tried to isolate the population to really to break up the gang structure and the organizational structure that certain organizations had. So they would remove certain individuals from amongst the population, and they
Mm-hmm.
would send them to TAMS. And so sometimes that old adage that they say, if the body you killed, you kill the body, you kill the head, the body will fall.
Yeah.
And that happened to a lot of organizations throughout time, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I never seen the inside of TAMS, which was a blessing. But yeah, let's just get into it, man. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you for everybody
Hey.
that
And
comment. Thank you for everybody that watched. I really do.
that's what's up, man. And look, for anyone that hasn't seen part 1 or 2, just a little piece of information, a big part of information actually. He's done 18 years and 3 months in Illinois prison system, man.
Right.
And you've seen some of the treacherous ones. You know, a lot of people were saying some things in the comment section about what was it, Pontiac and what was the other one,
Menard,
Menard.
Menard.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
reminds me of this one in Florida called, I think, Brevard. It reminds me
Mm,
of that one. Everyone's saying that one's treacherous too, so I get those two
mm,
mixed up. But yeah,
mm.
you got any crazy stories coming from there, man? I kind of want to hear just a few wild things you might have seen in there, or maybe
I
went
mean,
through.
I got
Uh,
it. I got to Menard 2003 of September, and I came from what we call from Sig to Sig. When you hear a guy in prison say, "Oh, he came from Sig to Sig," that means he got kicked out of the institution and he was shipped to another institution while he was in segregation and to the other institution in their segregation unit. So I came from Sig to Sig. I came from Lawrenceville segregation. I was already in segregation, and they transferred me from Lawrenceville segregation to Menard segregation, September 2003. You know, I don't remember the date. I think it was probably September 17th, I believe. I believe it was September 17th. I see that date in my head for some reason. But I was
which one was
already
worse, do you think?
Menard Pontiac. Whew,
No, I'm talking about you say you came from segregation, Lawrenceville, right?
oh, Menard way worse than Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
What
yeah,
what
hell
would
yeah.
make it so much more worse since they're both in segregation? What do you think would be
Good question.
factors
Good
to play
question.
there?
Now Lawrence was a medium facility. So while you was in segregation in Lawrence, you was it was single man. You didn't have no cellmate. That's
Oh, okay,
always
okay,
that's always a great thing
yeah,
because you know a guy is gonna pick a single man cell any day over a double bunk. You know, I'd rather be in a cell by myself than be in a cell with my brother.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll never forget the first time I seen the double man segregation cell. Man, I was completely shocked. I've never experienced it before. So
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So that was a plus. Like Lawrence had they had all single man, and then Lawrence just to feed you good. I ain't gonna lie to you. In segregation, if your tray come and it's full, man, you so happy.
and if they
Because
brought that jank right to your damn gate, boy, you
hey,
ain't even got to
the
move but a
tray,
couple
the
feet.
tray, yeah, the tray so little, man. The tray is like so little, you know. You got your you got your big part. If it's some meat, it might be a chicken sandwich and some rice. And then in this slot, you might have some vegetables, and then you might have a brownie or an apple or something. But the trays, what I remember in Lawrence, they used to be full. And I appreciated that because I could put some food away for later on that
Yeah,
night when I get hungry. You know, I could put some food away. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, damn. But when I went to Menard, I heard about Menard. You know, Menard was known for brutality, brutalizing inmates, black, white, brown, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
unfortunately, the population was dominated with black and brown, so we caught it more. But Menard was known for brutality. Menard was known for racism. You know, like anybody that's been to Menard, they'll tell you like the institution they used to cater to the white population. Like
mm-hmm.
it was a white population down there that I ain't gonna mention. I ain't gonna mention the organization, but they had favor with the institution. And a lot of times, this true story, a lot of times the white guards would come through the black guys' cells and they would shake them down and they would take our knives because you know it's prison, man. You trying to protect yourself. You got a knife or you got something just in case something happened. You have some type of weapon that you
Yeah,
might feel you need to defend yourself. But the officers would come through black inmate cell and they would shake us down. They would take our knives or they would take whatever weapons, and it's no lie. They would give it to they would give it to the white guys, man. Cause the white guys they had a stronghold in Menard, Joe. And Menard, the white, it was a biker gang down there, and it was another gang. And they
and this is all
always
in seg.
No, this just in the population of Menard, period.
Oh, okay, okay,
This
okay.
just this just the population. Like it was a white gang. It was two white gangs. They had favor. Like the institution just wouldn't just tell the black guys like y'all ain't getting none. No. Like back in the days, they used to allow us to get picnics. Like if your wife wanted to come see you, she could come see you with your kids, whatever, whoever you was rolling with. You would she would come in there and your kids would be over here. They had ice cream for them and everything. So they would give us our just due. But the white gangs had favor with the administration. They did. That's just how Menard was. Menard has always been like that. If you do the history of
Yeah.
Menard Correctional, the white gangs has always had favor with the institution down there. It's just a fact. And it used to get bloody, man. You know what I'm saying? It used to get bloody because it was a time where these particular white gangs, they were preyed upon. They were. This is a fact. They were preyed upon, but they came together. A lot of white gangs came together. I ain't gonna go into the hierarchy of their shit, but a lot of white gangs came together and they formed an empire. You know what I'm saying? And they was protecting themselves, but it was bloody. It used to get bloody between whites and blacks in Menard. But the correctional officers, they catered to the white gangs. That's just a fact. A lot of stuff, a lot of this, it's
A few prisons people that came on here said that about the
that
prisons they were
is.
in.
That
Yeah.
is. California probably like that. You know what I'm saying? Different institutions throughout Tennessee is like that. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the white gangs get a little more, they get a little more favor from the white correction officers. So, the black guys and the Latino guys, whatever they is, they gotta figure out. They gotta figure out how to compete because these white guys might have a knife so damn big, man. They might up that knife on you and you be like, damn, what? How did he get that in here? You know what I mean? Like how did he get that knife through the
Yeah.
gates? Like,
Yeah.
damn, he ain't keistered that in,
Nah, he ain't gangster in
huh?
that jank.
No, 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 no. They call it in California. They call it keistering.
Keystern, hooping,
He,
gangstering,
you know
coin
what I mean?
person, brown
No, he
eyeing.
no, no, he hasn't gotten that. And this thing is like this long. This a
Yeah, he ain't
butcher
getting
knife.
that. He ain't doing
This is
that.
some Michael Myers demonstration here. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that happened. But in Menard was I got there 2003, September. My first cellmate, because I was on a orientation wing. They trying to figure out who they go put me in a cell with. I was there for 3 weeks. I was on one gallery. They put me on two gallery, man, with a guy that I knew he didn't have all the scruples. You know what I'm saying? And just first time seeing him, and they told me that's your celly. I'm like, dude, ain't got all the scruples, Joe. I gotta be on point. You know what I'm saying?
What made you
And
think that?
I just, man, look, when I first seen him, he had on these socks. He was wearing them like they was thermals. And I'm
Did he
like,
have the
what the
holes cut out for his fingers and stuff?
he did.
I've seen that before. I've seen that before. I've seen
He
guys do
did.
that, man. Yeah.
He did, man. He had
Yeah.
it cut out for his fingers and stuff. He had cut it out. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this dude ain't wrapped tight, Joe. I'm like, he ain't tight. You know what
He
I'm
ain't
saying?
wrapped
So
tight. That's funny.
hell
I'm making a
no,
t-shirt called that.
he ain't wrapped tight. So when I went in the cell, I was saying to myself, I gotta take my handcuffs off first because this ain't no joke. Guys will beat you. They don't even know you. You ain't did nothing to them. But they just might not want to be in that institution. They just may not want to be in a cell with you. And if you take them cuffs off, they might flip and they might get to beating your ass, man. Because you cuffed up, so you can't do nothing. So I knew I gotta get these cuffs off first.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know this guy. He looked like he ain't wrapped tight.
Nah, he ain't
I'm
wrapped
taking
tight.
I'm so when the officer, like I'm standing in the doorway, I'm standing halfway. I got one foot in the cell, one foot out the cell because I'm making sure he go
Making sure
first.
he getting in there. Yeah.
I'm making sure he go first. And I get out my cuffs. When I get out my cuffs, I step to the back because I don't want the officer to think I'm on no BS. I step to the back and he said, I'm a bug. This is what the guy said. That's being my celly. I
I'm a
say, bug.
bug.
Yeah, I say, bug. What the hell is that? I knew what it was. Excuse me. I say, okay. All right. He said, I'm a firebug. He trying to scare me. He said, I'm a firebug. I know a firebug means he is somebody that likes to set his cell on fire. I know the language. I've been in prison now almost 6 years. So
Yeah.
I say, okay, you like to set the cell on fire. I say, listen, you can do whatever you want to do when I'm not in here. When I go to the shower, if you want to set it on fire, it's your choice. When I go to yard, if you want to set it on fire, that's your choice. I can't in prison, you can't tell no grown man what to do. This ain't the county. See, in the county, you can reinforce that, man, that's stupid, or man, ain't you plugged, or ain't you hooked up? You say you this, you say you that, you're not acting like that. Prison ain't like that. In prison, ain't nobody trying to hit really nothing they gang saying. Not in Illinois.
That's
Not
wild,
you
man.
see,
You
I
would
just
think
said
it'd be.
Illinois.
Yeah.
I just said Illinois. I be slipping, man. I be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
slipping. It's not you. But yeah, in prison in Illinois, uh, it's not really a lot of structure. All that ended in the 90s. It did. A lot of structure amongst the gangs, and you know how the gangs used to really run the prisons throughout Illinois. Like, listen, I was watching, I was watching Blood In, Blood Out, and I was seeing, that was a real depiction of how they was able to, like, politic with the administration, get certain things done for their organization. That was a real depiction. It was. Now, a lot of the homosexuality that was going on, I can't comment on that. I don't know how they was going about their business out there in California, but I will tell you this: in Illinois, Latinos, the
Really?
most, yeah, they don't play that shit. They will kill your ass if they find out. And I'm not being insensitive to anybody that's homosexual out there. I'm just talking about prison life. I
Yeah.
want to get that understood. Latinos, they do not play that, Joe. They
They
do
don't
not.
swing that way, huh?
If they find out one of their guys that's calling himself this or calling himself that, and they find out that he's engaging in homosexual activity, it's gonna be a problem. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Like, I give props where props is due, man. You know what I'm saying? I give props where props is due. I'm not saying that there was no Latinos engaging in activity, but I'm not gonna lie. Like,
They just
and
took it to another level.
yep. If they find out one of their members is engaging in that homosexuality, they might issue a death violation.
Yeah.
They might. I ain't gonna say what gangs it was. People know what I'm talking about. They might issue a death violation. They didn't play. So, and people are gonna be people. People are gonna be people. I've always tried to police myself and keep myself in check, but people are gonna be people, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody isn't gonna have the same discipline, right? Everybody isn't going to have the same discipline. So I just tried to really, have discipline over myself. I tried to always have some honor because, like I told you in the first video, you only can lie for so long. Bro,
Hmm.
you know this. I did time over 18 years. I did time in 6 institutions. I went from the county to Stateville to Lawrence, Lawrence to Menard, Menard to Mount Sterling, Mount Sterling to Pontiac, Pontiac to Galesburg, and I went home. It's called Hill Correctional, and I went home. Every institution I went to, somebody knew me. I never had to go to PC. I never had to run and hide because my name was always in good standing. I never did nothing in an institution that was so bogus that when I went to another institution, I couldn't come out the general population. I was an honorable person. I tried to be honorable. You know what I'm saying? I tried to be honest. I tried to be fair, because you can't run from your reality in prison. If you did something in an institution, it's go follow you. I always used to say this: your reputation precedes itself.
Yeah.
Your reputation precedes itself. If you leave Stateville and you go to Mount Sterling, people already know you down there. So if you was doing anything bogus in Stateville, ain't nobody go fool with you down there in Mount Sterling because they know you're not right. They know you're not right. So I try
Yeah.
to I try to live by the same code of ethics out here in the world. You know what I mean? I had a code of ethics in there where I was just honest. I was fair. If somebody gave me some death, you seen in the movie, I think that was American Me. They was passing the pack, and the dude dipped in the pack. He dipped,
Yeah.
and they
Tickle
killed
it,
him.
tickle it.
And they killed him on the yard. I
Yeah.
always, if somebody gave me some death, when I gave it back, it was exactly what they gave me until they told me to take what they wanted me to have out of that. You gotta be honorable in prison,
Let
man,
me
or
ask you
you
this,
die.
man.
Yeah,
Let me pop a scenario your way because I made a video on this. This is actually a true story that happened to me in the penitentiary.
go ahead.
Uh, pack. Okay, there was a pack on the ground on the track. All right, and I
Hmm.
guess
Hmm.
I'm not gonna get detailed. Me and my homeboy, we got this little pack, and
Yeah,
but nobody, nobody was saying nothing about the shit, until after we done smoked a little bit of the tree that was in the shit, right?
yeah.
And I mean, what would you do? What would you do if you were walking the track? You see something that looks like a pack, man, and it's just chilling there for
Hmm.
5, 6, 7 laps,
Hmm.
and look, you're the last one on the yard. There ain't nobody trying to grab that shit. What
Hmm.
would you do?
Well, that has happened to me, bro.
Yeah,
That has
I
happened.
believe it. I believe it.
That happens because a guy might be getting shook down, or the police might be calling him when he on the yard, whether for a visit. He might be paranoid and thinking they want to shake him down, and
Yeah,
he might just throw the pack when he on the yard.
yeah,
And I might come across the pack. Now I know this pack ain't just walked itself out here on the yard.
yeah.
I know that, so you gotta be thinking. You can't be thirsty in the penitentiary. You might get killed. I'm going to try to find out. Has anybody been trying to rediscover what they
Exactly.
threw down? Because
We
somebody threw it down.
Yeah.
And I
Hold it
don't
for
want
a
to be,
couple days. Don't open it or
hell yeah,
nothing, and wait and see
hell
if some
yeah, man.
words
You
is
know what I'm,
open.
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be thirsty,
Hell
because
no.
thirsty people get hurt in prison, man.
Yeah.
Thirsty people get hurt in prison. So I knew that, but that has happened, no question. But Menard, out of both prisons, out of all three maximum institutions that I've been through, Stateville, they'll rough you up if you do something to staff, because sometimes inmates they might assault staff. If you do something to staff, they might hit you in your ribs a couple times on your way, or they taking you back there to
Yeah.
segregation. They might beat you up. Now, if you do something to a female staff in Stateville, you might get the business.
I was gonna say, was Menard the one where you got your degree and everything?
No, I got my degree actually in Galesburg right before I got out of the penitentiary. I got out 2016. I got my degree 2015 of June. You know what I mean? It had led, I had did certain stuff to lead up to actually getting my degree. And it was such a proud moment for me when I got my degree, because I didn't want to be that guy that just went to prison and picked up a whole lot of slick talk.
Yeah. God dang,
You know
that
what I mean?
slick talk is
You know what I
treacherous
mean?
too, boy.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that person, man. I
Yeah,
didn't want to
yeah.
be the I didn't want to be the person that just went to prison and picked up a whole lot of slick talk.
Man,
So I
that
wanted
shit
to
does
come.
make you come out with a lot of
Yeah,
slickness, boy.
yeah, and everybody come out like that, Deaf.
Yeah.
The majority of them, they go back,
It's
because I
because
always
everybody's a
say,
damn snake in there, man. You
yeah,
gotta be
because
slick.
yeah, that's right though. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Everybody's a snake in that, man. You find some good guys, you find
Every
some
now
good
and then.
individuals in there every now and then. But you're right, man. You got to stay on your toes. Everybody is slick, man. You know what I'm saying? But I always say, man, if you don't learn the lesson, you shall repeat the class. And I did 18 years. If you don't learn the lesson, deaf, you shall repeat the
I
class.
like
And
that
I
one, man. That's a
and I
good
and I
saying.
and I've seen a lot of individuals, deaf, that left the same joint I was in to only return back a year, 2 years later. And some guys come back to the same cell because they didn't learn the lesson. They
Yeah.
had to repeat the class. And I'm like, damn, what's up, homie? You back? Yeah, man. I'm like, damn, Joe, that ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that ain't gonna be me whenever they uncuff me. Because that was my thing. I used to always say that they'd be like, guys would be like, when you get out, and I'd be like, they gotta uncuff me sooner or later. And guys would be like, what you mean uncuff you? But I would say, whether I'm walking around with cuffs on or not, Def, I can't come out to play.
Yeah.
I'm cuffed up. I can't come outside. I can't just leave my cell and go outside like I can now. I'm cuffed up, right? It's
Yep.
they're not literal cuffs, they're figurative cuffs. But I can't come out to play. So, but Menard by far was the most brutal. One of my homies, he was cuffed up. They literally threw him down the stairs, man, about 13 stairs. They broke every bone in his face. They broke every bone in his face. When I first got down in 2003, maybe about 2 3 months later, uh, the guy, he was in there because I had read his case. He was in there for killing his mother, and they beat him. They beat him up, and they took him to the infirmary, and he died of hypothermia. We heard about it. He died of hypothermia. That was the first murder. You know what I'm saying? The second murder. Uh, there was an individual. He had 6 life sentences. And around this time, it's like 2003, 2004. If you violated your parole, let's say your parole agent came to your house, Death, and she said, piss test. And you was like, what? She said, I want you to urine in this bottle. If I see any substances come up, I'm sending your ass back. You probably just smoked a joint, man. You've been in prison 10 years, man. You want to smoke a joint? What the hell?
Yeah.
You just want to smoke a joint, but you piss dirty. And they would violate you and make you do your parole time back in a maximum institution.
Over a
And it's
Jaybird.
over a joint. This little white
Dang.
dude I read, I didn't know him. I didn't know him. He had asked me for a few novels. That's all he wanted to do. He was like 19. He was on a parole violation for a cot theft. That was his original case. And he was in a cell with a guy with 6 life sentences. And the guy told the institution he didn't want no cellmate. He told them, man. He told them. He wrote grievances. I heard him screaming, get him out of my cell. Y'all told me I wasn't gonna have no cellmate. Get him out of my cell. And he killed him. He killed the cellie. He killed that young guy, man. That young guy then. He was just 19, man. He didn't want to do nothing. He probably had like 6 7 months to do, because when you would, and they was bogus, like they would violate you deaf, and they would make you do
Oh,
your
that's
vi
what he
they
was in there for? Violation?
for a violation, and they would make you do your time in segregation deaf. So
Yeah,
this
that's
guy,
crazy, man.
he a 19-year-old kid, man, on a violation for auto theft, and they got him in a maximum institution in segregation with a cell. His cell, he got 6 life
Life
sentences,
sentences.
bro. And he killed him, man. He did. He killed him. And he killed him on a Friday, but he didn't tell them. He killed him until Sunday. And I guess the smell had become so overwhelming because when they brought that body out, that smell was on the gallery for weeks. You just smelled the dead stench on the gallery for weeks. That was a rude awakening. This Menard, one of my homies, he be in the comments. he came to segregation and he was screaming. Menard had these vents. Let's say you was on the other side of me and you was cool, and you knew like, man, male on the other side of Wax. They call me Wax in the joint. You would be like, Wax on the other side, man. These police just beat me up. And so you would scream through the vent, hey, Wax. And I hear you. I'd be like, what's up? Who that? And you'll be like, Def. I'll be like, what's up, Def? What's going on, man? I thought you was out in general population. You'll be like, man, Joe, I got into it with the police, man. They just beat me up, Joe. Right, my mother, man. They messed me up. And I'll be like, all right, Joe, what's the address? Like, this is how we communicate in segregation and Menard through vents. You know what I'm saying? I get the address because you my friend. Shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I get the address and I'll be like, man, Def say, you know what I'm saying? They beat him up. He can't, they won't give him his property. My name is Blase Skippy. You see my name on the envelope. He just told me to write you. And this is how we would stick together. This is
Yeah.
how we would stick together, man, because it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. You know what I mean? But I witnessed a lot of gruesome stuff and Menard, man. They was brutal. They was so brutal in Menard, they made them. They said the guy died from a stroke. This guy's face was this big. This was just in 2007. This guy face was this big, man. They say he died from a stroke. I seen the pictures. A friend of mine, she shared the pictures with me. It was either it was her husband's brother-in-law or cousin or something. He got beat to death in Menard, and they say he died of a stroke. But after that, they protested and they wrote certain people out here that have organizations. And now Menard Correctional Center and segregation, they got cameras back there. They got cameras in Menard Correctional Center segregation unit. They got cameras because they've been killing guys in a segregation unit. I had a celly death. The guy went, he didn't even make it. He wasn't even my celly really. uh after my celly that I was talking about that had the things on his hand, they got him out of my cell. He wrote the mental health and he told him he was crazy, he didn't want to be there. So they moved him, they put another guy in my cell. uh the guy came to the door like he said he had a he said he had a low bunk permit. So I'm like, okay, cool. If you got a low bunk permit, you can get the bottom bunk, man. So he like, Joe, he kept saying that I got a low bunk permit. I'm like, why you keep saying that, man? You got a low bunk permit. Once the officers produce the low bunk permit, I ain't gonna be protesting about no bunk. I'm gonna jump up top and I'm gonna mind my business, right? I ain't tripping on no bunk.
Yeah, but
So
you're
he
not just
get
gonna
it.
go off his word though.
No, I'm not good. No, I don't know you. No, I'm not going off your word. No, I don't know you. No, I don't know
Yeah.
you. I'm not going off your word. You know what I mean? I don't know you. So man, they let him in the cell. Again, I get my cuffs off first. Get up out of my cuffs. So I'm in the back of the cell towards the toilet. And I'm watching him because I know he ain't rap tight, Def.
He ain't rap
I,
tight.
I know he ain't rap tight. I
Yeah,
know. I know. I've been locked up like 6 years now. I've been around all type of individuals. I know he ain't rap tight.
yeah.
So he tell them that he taking the cuffs hostage. He said, I ain't giving the cuffs back. I said, I don't think that's a good
He
idea.
about to get to
I said,
work, huh?
I don't think that's a good idea, sir. Not playing. Don't
And
do
he's
that
doing this because he ain't getting that damn bottom bunk, right?
because he got this thing in his head like he like I ain't giving y'all cuffs until y'all say the bottom bunk is mine. But I'm like, who do you think you are? Who do you think
Yeah,
you are?
yeah,
And so they called dude, he called him, he like, hey Sergeant, can you come down here? We have a 1010. Or a 1010 mean like when they call 1010, that mean it's a disturbance. And I'm like, oh wow.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They call the sergeant down there, like in Menard, they don't call the tactical unit. You know, the tactical unit
yeah.
come
The
in
little
that gear.
turtle shell team
Yeah,
with them little shields and shit.
they don't call them in Menard segregation.
What they call?
They call their buddies come down
They call
here.
the sergeant. They call sergeant get right.
Sergeant, get right. Sergeant, get right.
That's funny, man.
So look, Joe, they called the sergeant down there. Now I'm in the back. I told him, and he like, cuff his cellmate up. I said, y'all ain't gotta cuff me. I ain't got no issues with y'all because it's every man for theyself, Deaf.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah,
ain't got no look. And this, I don't even know who this guy is and what his plight is. Like,
yeah,
what is your plight, man?
yeah,
You want the bottom bunk that bad? They go beat the blood out of you. I used to say that. They go
yeah,
beat the DNA about you, man.
yeah,
What are you doing? And man, the sergeant came in there. He like, what's up? He like, man, I got a low bump permit. He said, all right, give us some time. Give us some time. We go look at your file. If you indeed have a low bump permit, we would give you the low bump. I said, man, I ain't got no problem with him getting the bump. With him getting the bump, man. So dude, like, man, he like, give me my cuffs. He like, no. He like, what?
yeah,
He asked him one more time. He said, give me my cuffs. Turn around and uncuff. He said, man, I got a low burn permit. He hit him. Like, damn. Because when he hit him, his head hit the wall. But he ain't done. It was like he was a doll.
yeah,
Because he grabbed his head. And mind you, he in cuffs. So the body go wherever the body is swinging. He grabbed
yeah,
his head. Boom. I'm like, damn.
yeah,
I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So I knew it was serious, Death. So I just wanted to walk up. I wanted to walk up out of that place alive, man. And I did, by the grace of God, man. I did. And Pontiac is all mental. It's all mental.
Man,
It's all
goddamn, they all sound mental. What the hell? What?
yeah, but Menard, look, I know
What you mean
guys,
mental? Like a mental block, or like just they just crazy?
mental warfare. Pontiac
Okay.
was mental warfare.
Okay.
It was mental warfare. Like, when you read about genocide, it say genocide, the act of killing, eliminating, eradicating, etc., by means of inflicting adverse elements environmentally, biologically, physically, and mentally. War is war.
Yeah.
It comes in different shapes and forms. Pontiac was mental warfare. Look, those guys down there were so mentally gone. I remember one time I heard a guy say, "Man, you want to play some football?" And I'm like, "Football? You can't play no football down here. Like it's all dog kennels." But he talking about fighting. And
Yeah.
I'm listening. I'm like, how the hell they go play football? I witnessed it. When you come to Pontiac, you got to do intake. You got to see the nurse. They want to see if you bring in any diseases into the institution. So they want to see you. So they just so happen to take me to the healthcare, and I see football, live and living color football. So football was because whenever you move, you shackle. Your arms are shackled, and you got leg irons on. Football was literally like the running of the bulls. Like they would run to each other with their head and play football, like they with no helmets on though.
As a way of fighting and chained
It's
up,
a
huh?
way of fighting chained up, Joe. They that gone, man. It's a way of fighting chained up. And I'm like, what? The officer he came to because the healthcare got a big old bullpen. He came to the bullpen, looked at him and was like, and walked away.
That's
Like
crazy, man.
they'll wake up. If they don't, it ain't my fault.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of brutality. I was in Pontiac. A guy, he hung himself up under me. He hung himself up under me. You know what I'm saying? I was on 6 gallery. He hung
Damn.
himself on 2 gallery. He hung himself on 2 gallery. And
Oh, I thought you
Menard.
meant like literally in your cell, right underneath you.
No, 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 no.
I'm like, damn, that's
Pontiac.
treacherous.
No, Pontiac was all one man. Pontiac was
Oh
all
yeah,
one man.
yeah, yeah.
So I was in the cell by myself on 6 gallery. Under me was 4 gallery. Under that was 2 gallery, and he hung himself on 2 gallery. Like a
What did
damn
they got like
vegetables.
one staircase for all the floors?
No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. They got a staircase that goes up. If you're on 1 gallery, you don't go up the stairs. If you're on 3 gallery, you get off on 3 gallery and you go down the gallery to your cell. If you're on 5 gallery, you get off on 5 and you go down the gallery. It's a staircase that goes up. You know what I'm saying? It
I
goes
bet
up.
people
So when
hate to be on that top floor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I never liked the top floors, but I was on them a lot. Stateville, I was on 7 and 9 gallery a lot. Menard, I was on 6 and 8 gallery a lot. You know what I'm saying? Pontiac, I was on 7 and 6 gallery. Uh, but that's just excuse me. That's just the maximum institutions like that. The medium institutions isn't like that.
Yeah.
The medium institutions got two floors. They got 1 gallery, 2 gallery. That's it. Because it's pods. It's pods. It might be A pod, B pod, C pod, D pod. Maximum institutions not like that. Maximum institutions, you got either West House and Menard, West House, East House, North House, and South Uppers, and the Hill. You know what I'm saying? Stateville, you got B house, C house, D house, E house, X house, uh H house, uh, F house, and I house, and G dorm. You know what I mean? So, Pontiac, you had West house, East house, North house is where you don't want to go. When you first,
What the
when you
hell?
first,
What's North House?
man, North house, it's like everybody over that death. They got like 30 years in segregation, man.
Damn.
Can you imagine somebody getting 30 years in segregation? Like, what the hell has he done to get 30 years in segregation?
That's a long
And
damn time, man.
a deaf, they don't, this how they play in North House. They'll throw some feces in front of your cell, deaf, and they'll write you a ticket. They will write you a ticket. They wouldn't ask you how it got in front of your cell. They'll write you a ticket, Def, for uh damn, damn. It's health and safe and sanitation. And they'll give you a year in segregation. So let's say you came from another institution to Pontiac with 6 months, and you've been down there 5.5 months, and I don't like you because when I come out my cell, I can see what you in segregation for, and I see you finna get out, and I don't want you to get out. I don't want you to get out because I ain't never getting out. And I might throw a knife in front of your cell, out of my cell. I might slide it up under the door and it'll go in front of your cell. And the officers in Pontiac is so dirty. And I'm gonna tell you why, because it was all segregation.
Yeah.
And the only way they could keep that institution segregation, they gotta keep people in segregation. Deaf. It's a chess game in there, man.
Yeah.
It's a chess game. You gotta always be thinking. And they
Yeah.
would come past your cell and say, "Hey, Deaf, see, you got a knife in front of your cell," and you'll be like, "I ain't got no knife, man. What are you talking about?" It'll be like, "It's a knife right here. I'm writing you up, inmate." And you'll be like, That ain't my knife, man." But now you got another year in segregation. Now you mad.
Yeah.
You pissed. And now you have just fell into the bullshit. Now now you got 10 years segregation.
Yeah.
That's Pontiac.
I believe it, man. Let's kind of let's veer. I want to know a little more what you did in prison. You got a degree. What'd you get a degree in?
I got a degree in liberal studies.
Liberal
Uh
studies. How long did it take you
yeah.
to get it?
Let me see. I got my GED in 2007, and then I matriculated into college, into the college.
Matriculated.
Yeah, I matriculated. That mean enrolled, right?
Yeah.
Which is why you doing what you doing. You trying to secure your daughter's college funds so they can
That's right.
matriculate into Harvard, into
Exactly.
Yale, into Michigan, wherever they wish to go. You know what I mean? But you gotta pay, right? But in
Yeah.
prison, education is free if you want it.
Yup.
So
In some
I
places.
matriculate
Some
in
places.
in some places, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. In some places, this particular institution, Mount Sterling Western Correctional Institution, and I always say this: rehabilitation is a choice. Rehabilitation and reformation isn't anything that the institution forces upon you. They don't tell you you need to change. They don't tell you that. They don't care.
Yeah.
They in the business of housing you. They want you come back,
Yeah.
but they're gonna provide certain things that will help you reform your way of thinking if you take advantage of these opportunities, which is what I did.
Yeah.
So they had a college program. So I'm like, man, I've been locked up now almost 10 years. I'm like, the world is changing. It is a technologically advanced society. So I'm like, I need to become computer literate. So they had a computer technology program down there. So I enrolled in that. I enrolled in a computer technology program, and I got my college certificate in computer technology in like 2009. I got it in 2009. No, 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 excuse me. I got it in 2010 because I got my GED 2007, the end of 2007. I got in the college program in 2008, but I was going back and forth to court. All of 2008 going into 2008, now I was going back and forth to court, so I couldn't stay in school. If you miss certain amount of days in school, they go automatically kick you
Yeah.
out. So I couldn't stay. So until my case was over, well, not over with, but they found me guilty again, or they didn't give me any relief, I really immersed myself into college. I said, I'm gonna get this, man. I'm gonna get this. And I did. I got my college certificate in computer technology. You go share some pictures with them at one of my graduations. I think that was the graduation, either where I got my degree or I got my certificate in computer technology. But I got my certificate in computer technology, and then in 2010, a year later, they kicked me out of the institution. I went to Hill Correctional Center. I got first a certificate of custodial maintenance, and then I used those credits because you could use credits towards your degree, just like
Mm-hmm.
anything else. So I
Yeah.
used those credits towards my degree because I knew they was offering associate's degree in Hill Correctional Institution. So all the credits that I had obtained up to that point, I used them, attained rather, not obtained, because somebody gonna be like, no, he said obtain, attain. All the
Yeah, there
degrees that
damn
they,
sure will be someone saying
yeah,
that too.
they'll correct your ass. I
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
viewers. I love the viewers. All of the credits that I had attained up to that point, I was able to use them towards my degree. And in 2015, I got my associate's degree in liberal studies. You know what I mean? I think you had to get either like 75 credits or something. And I got my associate's degree in liberal studies. And that's probably my most proudest moment while I was in prison. You know what I mean? That's probably my most proudest moment because I knew I was going to need education when I got out. You know, either that was going to help me secure a job, or that was just going to help me navigate through this maze of a society. I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't been in this society in 18 years, and I knew that I needed education. I knew that I needed some type of guide that would help me navigate through this maze that the world had become since 1997. I knew I was
Mm-hmm.
going to get out 2016. I'm like, man, I don't know nothing. I don't know
Mm.
how to do nothing.
That's a
I
long
need
damn time, man.
so that's like 2 decades, bro. You know, and I went in a kid. I went in 2 days for my 18th birthday. I got out 36 years old. So I just wanted to be ready. I just wanted to be ready. I didn't want to say whenever I got out, damn, man, I should have took advantage, man. What that institution had to offer, I should have took advantage. So whatever institution I was in, if they had educational programs, I ingratiated myself in those programs. I did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I did. I went all in,
Ingratiated.
ingratiated. That
In,
mean like yeah, you
to
be hey,
dive in.
to dive in, or just really
Okay.
just really just like it's another way of saying immerse yourself. You know,
Yeah.
ingratiate. Like you got some people, they'll say ingratiate, right? They'll be like the guy ingratiated himself in the food. You know, like he
Okay.
ate it all.
Okay.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like he ate it all. So I wanted to eat it all, Def. Whatever institution offered, whatever they offered, I wanted to eat it all, man. That's why I went to I stayed in the law library reading those books. You know what I'm saying? Whatever books was available because I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to be Def. I used to read the dictionary when I ain't had nothing to read, man. You know what I'm saying? I
I
got
got
my
like
hand.
that, but I got like that really with my religion. Okay,
Mm,
Christianity. I got like that with a lot of religious books, and
yeah,
when I
yeah.
was in there, it's crazy because when I was in there, I wanted to become at one point a preacher. You
Mm,
know, that's
mm.
what I really wanted, and now I'm kind of doing that a little
You
bit.
kind of. I was finna say that. I
In
was finna say that.
a different kind of way. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And you know what? A lot of guys in prison, they didn't know what I was. They didn't know what religion I professed because
Yeah.
when you come in my cell, I had a Bible and a Quran on my TV.
Hmm.
And they'd be like, "What you is?" And I'll
I've
be
seen
like,
that
"Man."
before. I've seen a lot of Muslims actually have the Bible as well
And
and
that's
do
and
studies.
that's and that was really what I
How it
leaned
was?
towards. That was really what I leaned towards
Yeah.
Islam. I did because I needed discipline, and I think I grew up Christian. I grew up Christian. My mother
Hmm.
raised me Christian. I love Christianity. That's why I still kept the book on my television because I used to read the book when I was a kid, but when I went to prison, I really read it. And I said, man, if I can read this and apply it to modern times, because they ain't doing nothing but prophesizing in the book. That's what I said. I said I gotta apply this to modern times. And I love the Bible because the Bible is filled with prophecy. The Quran is perspicuous. There's no prophecy in there. It's just be good. That's why I
Yeah.
used to love both of them books. The Quran just wants you to be good. I
Lays
don't
down the
know.
law.
Look, those books was like they was like I say, they was the same thing to me. They was like they was like navigation, they was like maps. They was like maps, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the Bible and the Quran, or anything dealing with Buddhism, or you know what I'm saying? Like I would read anything. You know what I mean? Like I had cellies, they espoused to different beliefs, and I'd be like, let me check that out. You know, and I
Yeah.
would read it.
Oh, I
I would
always
read it.
read other people's stuff, even though I was rooted into my
Right.
decision, of
You
my
was rooted
path.
into your decision.
But I
You was
would
rooted
love
into.
to
You was
hear,
open minded. You
yeah,
was open minded. Cause
yeah,
my thing in prison was I wanted to be able to say, I've read every school of thought. That's what we would call them. Schools of thought.
yeah,
Like guy, he might study Islam, because you know how it is in prison, bro.
yeah.
Everybody got their own beliefs and they stern in their beliefs.
They stern,
So
man.
they stern in their
No,
beliefs. So
hey,
yeah,
people lose their lives behind that shit for
people
real, man.
lose their lives behind it. So I would say if I get in the cell with a guy that professed Jehovah Witness, I want to know about it.
Yeah,
I want to
especially
already
if you
know about it.
don't know anything about it. You know what I mean?
Because I don't want you to think you could tell me anything. Like it's different. Like I had it was a guy, he was in Menard with me. He had came from Arizona. He had AB tatted on his back, right? He had it. He was proud. He like, yeah, I'm AB. So I'm like, bro, look, I told him, I said, bro, this state is different. I said, bro, it ain't like that here. He like, no. I said, nah, bro. I said, you see, I said, you probably wouldn't be even talking to a black guy in Arizona with AB tatted on your back. He said, I wouldn't. I said, it's different here. We judge men off what they display, their character. You saying you AB, me saying what I am, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing, because if you say you AB and I see you doing something contrary to the belief system that those guys uphold, you ain't nothing. You just saying you that, man. You ain't nothing.
Yeah,
So in Illinois, whatever you say you are, act accordingly. Act accordingly. That's it. You could be. I had cellmates, man. They was AB. They had swastikas on them. Listen, that's your belief system. However way you was raised, that's it's. Listen, it's cool. I'm not gonna compose what I believe. Don't compose what you believe. We ain't gonna be. We ain't gonna be. We're not gonna get into no arguments. Like you can't tell me. You can't. Like I would always tell my cellies. I would say, listen, everything, the organization that I was involved with, everything about it ain't good. So I ain't gonna force feed you it. I ain't gonna compose it down your throat. Whatever you are, everything that you involved in, it ain't good. So don't force feed me it. I'm gonna respect what you are, respect what I am. We go live in harmony. We're good.
yeah.
That's how Illinois is, bro. It doesn't matter what you are. And I'm gonna tell you this. This is a fact. This is a fact. In Illinois, they do not put white with white.
Really?
I say that? Did I say that on the last? No, I told my friend that he came over. He came to my house. No, they don't put white with white. They don't do that. Not in Illinois. They don't do that.
Wow.
My cellmate used to file grievances about this. He was a white guy.
Wonder
He
why
used to
they do
say,
that.
I don't know. I can't speculate, Death. They don't.
Not
They
even
don't
in
put
that one prison you were talking about that leaned towards the white gangs.
Menard, that's the only institution that used to do that. They don't do that today, Death.
That's crazy,
Now,
man.
look, if you ever get a guy on here from Chicago that did time in Illinois, if he ever been to Menard and he say they put white with white, it's an exception. It got to be brothers. It got to be these guys been knowing each other 40 years. They do not bunk white guys up with white guys throughout Illinois prisons. They don't do it. They don't do it, man. I'm not lying. Like I'm telling you, one of my cellies, he fought the institution on this rule.
That's
White
probably
guys, I
just
don't
their
know.
way of trying to keep it integrated, and without people breaking apart into structures like that,
Yeah, but
Uh,
sometimes, Def, look, sometimes I can't lie to you. Sometimes your best cellie is someone that isn't of your race.
oh yeah, of course, man. I've met some of the greatest people on earth, man,
You know what I'm saying?
of other races. You know what I mean?
Sometimes blacks don't want to be with blacks.
It's just how it goes
So,
sometimes, man.
sometimes Latinos don't want to be with Latinos. They
And
put them together. They put us together. They do not put white guys together. So white guys be like, shit, why I can't be with another white guy sometimes. I used to understand my cellmate. I would understand it. I'm a fair-minded individual. So I would understand his gripe. that
Yeah.
he had against the institution. He was like, why I can't be in a cell with a white guy? I'm like, man, don't take that up with me, man. I got my CDLs deaf in 2017 May. I I got in the CDL program in 2017 April 3rd. I got my CDLs in a month. People be like, how you get your CDL so fast? Shit, because I wasn't working. I was hungry. I was
Damn right,
hungry.
you're hungry, gonna go
I got a
for it.
family. I got a family. I gotta contribute.
Yeah.
I gotta contribute to the welfare of my family. I got a woman. You know what I'm saying? She got kids. I've taken on this responsibility. You know what I mean? I gotta man up.
Yeah.
So I can't be playing. I'm going to school on Saturday, deaf in the world. I'm going to school on Saturday. I'm trying to get these CDLs. I'm trying to get to the money. And when I got my CDLs, uh my first experience was disastrous, man.
Oh God, what, driving it?
Hell yeah, man. I
How
had
many
like,
gears was it?
man, it was 10 gears. I didn't know nothing deaf.
Yeah.
Only thing they taught me at the school, they taught me how to get my license, bro. They didn't teach me how to
Drive
command
it.
that truck. Hell
Yeah.
no. Man, I
There's
can't even
it's
tell
a
you.
it's an art. There's definitely
It's
an
a
art to it.
it's a art, bro. I learned that now. I got it now. It's a art. I
I
didn't know
bet you
that
have a
deaf.
whole new respect for truck drivers since you
Deaf.
became one, huh?
Deaf. Look, hell yeah. I was stuck on a hill, bro, in Tennessee.
Tennessee, God.
It was leaning. I didn't know what the hell to do. I called my dispatch. I say, bro, I'm stuck on a hill. He said, cut it off and start it back. I said, what? I say, man, I'm going down this damn hill in Chattanooga.
I bet you Chattanooga, man. That's where a lot of my family lives.
In
Damn
Chattanooga.
it.
You ever
Well,
been
hey, I
through them
bet you were
Chattanooga
scared as
mountains?
hell out there, boy,
You
on
ever
that
been through
hill.
them Chattanooga mountains? I was scared as shit.
Yeah.
I was scared as shit, Def. I was scared as shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was scared as shit. And I had 3 incidents, bro. I had 3 incidents. I scraped the guy truck. I hit a stop sign, knocked the whole stop sign down,
Damn.
and then I took off a whole bumper, man. Oh wow, man.
You're lucky you didn't
I,
just destroy
I,
the whole
hey,
car though,
bro,
them things.
I wanted to quit, man. I'm like, man, I can't do this. And the truck stopped on me. I had to leave the truck. I'm like, man, I can't do this. But over time, it took me about 3, 4 months to really get it. It took me about 3, 4 months. But I had an accident in the truck last year. You know what I'm saying? The truck flipped over. You know what I mean? I climbed out. Like I should have shared that picture with you. I climbed out of the truck, bro, through the window.
Oh, you still
They like
can? You know,
they
I
like,
ain't
hey,
edited it
look,
yet.
I'm gonna show you, and they go say, damn, it's real. I'm gonna show you the picture, Def. When they towed the truck back to the yard, I was standing in front of the truck. I took a picture. You go see it. You go see it. It's real. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy,
People
man.
die in the truck, but this business has allowed me to provide a life for my family. You know what I mean? Because what I wanted to do, I just wanted to contribute to the welfare of my family, and
It's
I
all
didn't
life's
want
about, man.
yeah, I wanted to put my family in an area that was somewhat safe. If they want to go, if my daughter, my stepdaughter, if she want to go outside and jump rope, she can. She ain't got to worry about ducking bullets. It was just a young girl in Harvey, Illinois. She was just murdered. She was 12, like 3 days ago, man. That's a suburb right outside of the city of Chicago. She was killed in her house, death. They just shooting, man. And the bullet came through the damn window and hit her in the head, and she dead. This was 3 days ago. I'm not lying. They've been sharing this on Facebook. People been crying about it. This our reality here, man.
Man, that's
You know what
sad,
I'm saying?
man.
This our
Yep.
reality here. You know, the little girl was 12 years old. Deaf. She was 12. My stepdaughter go be 12 in December. She a Capricorn like me. You know, so this is our reality here. But I've tried to insulate my family from that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's
You know,
good,
by
man.
working and working and working and working hard. And you know, I got a text. A guy watched me on this, and he texted me. He come through Facebook, and he said, man, I watched your video, man, and you have, he said some quote, a raw ass quote. And I'm gonna give people a quote at the end. But he said, it seems like you have mastered yourself. And I said, no. I say, not even close. I say, I'm learning every day who I am. And I'm trying to master my universe. That is the goal. We try to master who we are and we try to master our universe. And I'm trying to do that. I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? I never act as if I'm there. I'm not there. Every day I'm learning a new me. I'm learning a new me. But uh Def, when you get out of the penitentiary, unfortunately, the majority of people don't have any expectations on your life. They don't think you go be nothing. It's
Yep.
sad, man. They don't think you go be nothing. It's sad. It really is. And it be family, it be friends. They don't think you go be shit. And then you show them that I took advantage of my imprisonment. I really did. And then when you show them that you changed whoever that kid was that went in, they all be like this. Not give me, give me, give me. But you be like,
Fake as hell too.
yeah, you was finna, yeah, yeah. But you be like, you had no expectations on my life when I got out. That's a truth, man. Y'all need to know out there, man. It's a lot of pressure on us when we come home from the penitentiary,
It
man.
is, and it's very fast too, man. It's very
Hell yeah,
fast.
it's very fast. The
Uh,
world move fast out here, Def. You gotta
it
keep
does,
up.
man. It
You gotta
does,
keep
and
up.
the probation, the system, man. I'm not gonna get into all that, but it's hard, man. It's hard as hell for us. But we're succeeding, man, and we're shining when people think we can't.
Yeah, yeah, Def. You really do. It's really hard. It's really difficult. You know what I mean? And Def, I got so frustrated, bro. And going on interviews, I stopped going. I did. Because a lot of people used to be like, "Oh man, you're articulate, you look good, you elocute your words really good. I want you to work for me." And then I would be hired, and when I get home, I'll be fired because they have done a background check on me, and I failed. I failed the background check because they see I got murder on my background. They not asking me what happened. They not saying, well, it looks like you got locked up when you were 17 and you stayed in there 18 years. What happened? They ain't asking you that. Only
Yeah.
thing they see is you got a felony on your background and we don't want you around us. So I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, I ain't even for to be wasting my gas no more, man. So they would ask me, hey, bro, you want to come to an interview? And I'd be like, where are y'all? And they might say, Lombard, Illinois. I know that's like 50 to 60 miles from me. I ain't got a lot of money, Def. I'm driving my lady car. I'm like, nah, no, thank you. They like, bro, you don't want to come to the interview? And I say, well, I'm gonna be transparent with you. I have a background. I would tell them, I'll say, I have a background. If you could look at my background right now and guarantee me that you gonna give me an honest chance, then I will come to the interview. If you can't guarantee me, and they'll say, I can't guarantee you, and I say, no, thank you. So that's what led me to the warehouses because anybody will hire you to put something in the box and throw it on the line. So I worked in the warehouses when I first got out. I worked warehouse jobs, 8.25 an hour, 9.25 an hour, $10 an hour. I worked them. I worked them and I worked them with dignity. I didn't care. I worked them with dignity, man. I worked them with dignity, Def. And when I got in the truck game and my life started improving, everybody doing this now. Everybody doing this. They didn't do that when I worked in the warehouse for 8.25 and my checks went number $330. My checks went number $330, Def. And I didn't have a car. I was using public transportation. I was using my lady car. I had to do anger management when I got out of the penitentiary because I did 18 years in prison. They thought I was angry. You know what I mean? I had to do anger management and I had to get a mental health evaluation. They wanted to see was my mental, was I good for society? and they seen I did anger management. I had to do that for like a month and a half. Def, I used to be on a red line, man. Nobody likes getting on a red line in Chicago, man. It's so disrespectful, man. Man, they disrespectful. Damn, you got to be around all the people. And mind you, Def, I just did 18 years in prison. I knew this environment. I know these people. People know not to cross certain lines. Now I'm back out here in free society, man. They scream all over you. You know, you be sitting down, they screaming in front of you, they dancing. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell, man? I'm paranoid. I'm like, what the hell, man? What are you doing, dude? Why is you screaming over me like that, man? But it's different. I used to be like, what the hell, man? I got to get a car. I can't be on this, man. I can't be around these people, man. These people done lost their mind, man. Because in prison, you develop this discipline, but nobody got that same discipline out here, Def, and you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has the same discipline out here that you witnessed in prison. So you like, man, what the hell is going on, man? You know what I mean? So I had to deal with that. I had to learn how to deal with that. Dude, step on your shoes. It's not like he trying you. I had to police myself. I said, man, dude, stepped on my shoes, man. What is I'm like, I had to tell myself he ain't trying you. Relax. I had to tell myself that relax, man. You know what I mean? Relax. And I'll be like, okay, cool. It's like you have an internal dialogue with yourself.
Yeah.
Relax. And I relax. And I'd be like, cool. But my whole thing was like, I got to get me a car, man. I don't like this public transportation. I don't like being around all these people like this. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
3 months later, I was able to get me a car. You know what I'm saying? So that helped me. That helped me. I got my license. I got out April 15th. I got my license April 27th. I always tell people when you get out of prison, get your license right away. Them things are important out here. Your license are important out here because Def, you got people can't even get their license because they paying back child support.
There's all kinds of reasons why people can't get their license. Just pertaining to what state, like over here in Virginia now, they just
Yeah,
got rid of the one where you got to pay your fines back in order to get your license. Now you can just get your license. You ain't got to pay that
right.
shit back.
Well, let
Uh,
me ask you. Let me ask you. When you get out of prison, are you guys able to vote out there?
no, no, no,
We
no,
can
no.
vote. We can vote. We can
What?
vote. We can vote in Illinois. Yes, we can.
Felons can vote?
Yes. When I first got out of prison, bro, the first thing I did was register to vote. And I've been voting since I've been out in every election. General election for presidents, I voted. Local election, uh, you know what I mean? State elections, I've been voting since 2016 in Illinois. Your voters' rights are restored as soon as you get out. If you do the proper things to have them restored, you have your voters' rights. I've been voting since I've been out, bro. You see how it's different?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You over here
Yeah,
in Virginia, you got to go through a whole process and everything, especially
they
if you have
let you vote.
violent charges.
They let
Uh,
you vote. They let you vote. And my charges was violent, as you know.
yeah,
You go share the pictures, and I'm sure people go Google. Well, you know what though? They can Google my case. I'm no longer on parole. I walked off parole. And look, Def, you know this. When I got off parole, I think she did something for me. I think she took me to eat or something. You know what I mean? I think she took me to eat, but everybody was like, "Damn, Joe, how you do it?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean? How I did it? I just did it. What are you talking about? But it's not easy. People die. They get killed on parole. They violate on parole, especially in Chicago, Def.
yeah,
It's a lot of guys in Chicago get murdered while they on house arrest, while they got the band on their ankle. They get murdered.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That is a fact. That is a truth. So I understood it. I'm like, okay, why? How? I'm like, I just did what was required of me, and that's just be a grown up. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just be a grown up and don't get involved in anything that may take me away from my family ever again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yep.
All right, well, look, man, this has been one hell of a journey with you. Three
Yes,
parts
it
that
has.
we've done. And
Yes.
let me just hear a little bit of information really quick before we go, man. What do you think would be the best piece of advice you would give to anybody going into Illinois State Penitentiary, man?
Wherever you go, whether it's if they give you 30 years, because now if they give you 30, you got to do 30. It's 100% now. It ain't 50% no more death. They changed that in 1998, right before I got locked up. If wherever you go, I would just recommend that you just read. If you go to Stateville or Menard, read, man. Read, read, read. You know what I mean? And create a vision in your head where you see yourself free. You gotta see yourself free. Create a vision in your head where you see yourself free. If you go inside of a medium institution, take advantage of whatever educational programs that they have to offer, and just really try to elevate your way of thinking. Elevate your way of thinking so when you do get out, you ready. You ready. You know what I mean? Don't go in, don't get out the same way you went in. You know what I mean? I would just say, if you going in, read, 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 read. And when you get out, you know what I mean? Come out here, man, and just try to I always say, whatever destruction you contributed in your community, because we all destroyed some in our community. We all did some in our community. We all did something. Whether if you shot a gun, if you sold any type of narcotic, whatever you did before you went in, you should try to get out and reverse that. It is your responsibility. If you destroy your community, if you shot guns, if you killed somebody, if you shot somebody, if you sold drugs to a lady or to a man, if you did any type of destruction in your community, it is your responsibility to come out here and try to reverse that. That's your responsibility. So that's my last go, man. Hopefully you and I really appreciate this. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got
Hey,
to do
you
this.
ain't got to do it either.
I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity, man, giving me this avenue to meet these people and talk and tell my truth. So I really appreciate it. I thank you, and hopefully everybody will see me, somebody will see me again, man. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, I thank you as well, man. And yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to doing a little something here in the future. And look, man, if you ever have anything going on in your life that needs a
Yes,
little promoting, anything,
yes,
book
yes,
writing, anything,
yes, yes.
I got a large audience I could throw your way,
Yes, you
my
do.
friend.
Yes, you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this platform. And yeah, man, like I say, we need more prison reform all throughout the country. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop throwing away our population, because some of our greatest minds are inside of those warehouses.
Yeah,
That's all
for
they
sure.
are.
Or
That's all
cell
they are.
blocks.
That's all they are, is warehouses. And some of our greatest minds are in there. So we got to stop throwing away people, and we got to start listening to people's stories, and maybe we could be a little more sympathetic to why they did some of the things they did, man.